without success so far. The second mistake is the focus on many national urban policies on small scales, such as neighborhood, for instance, without any linkages to other scales, such as the city, the municipal level, or the metropolitan area level. The third mistake, which is very linked to the second mistake, is that national urban, and this is very different from the UK system. Once again, we have definitely refused, the national state definitely refused to enter into a competitive approach regarding funding for cities. In England, you have to bid, and if you are better than the other, you get funding from the state. In France, no, it's the state spreads money. So the first, for instance, initiative of the policy for cities in the early 1980s, it was, I guess, 80 neighborhoods, if I remember well. And after, the state, with the same amount of money, basically, had to put this funding on 200 neighborhoods, 400, 700, over 1,000, over 2,000 now. That means you give just almost nothing to... so the spread out program, that's, I think, with a lack of focus, was a mistake. The fourth mistake is the multiplication of national structure. Whenever you create a new program, you create a new structure. I think it's almost impossible now to know how it works. Who is in charge? How to get the money? So the multiplication of national structure to deal with national urban policy, I guess, was a mistake. And the fifth one is the lack of long-term stable commitment in resources and in the content of policies. Alan, I guess, told about that in England also. In France, I mean, national urban policies are always renegotiable. In terms of funding, in terms of the content, in terms of the area, in terms of everything. The most important report on that was a report established for the Minister of Social Affairs in 2000 called Tomorrow's Cities. And it was his first, in the report, it was the first, I would say, criticism regarding national urban policies in France, the lack of stable commitment and resources. Finally, question 6. I'm finished. The role of local government association. I would answer more or less as Alan did. But first, and which may be different from the Italian and Spanish case, I guess also for the German case, we don't have a unified local government associations in France representing the cities. You have 4 or 5 at least. First, you have the National Association of Mayors, which mostly represents small cities, small municipalities, because we have over 36,000 municipalities, so most of them are very small. We have the Association of Rural Municipalities. We have the Association of Medium-Sized Cities. We have the Association for Suburban Municipalities, National Association of Suburban Municipalities. We have National Association of Big Cities. We have Association of Joint Authorities and Urban Joint Authorities. So it's difficult to answer your question because I mean you have a fragmentation of representation of local government associations. Second, these local government associations are not really aggressive, and they lack of staff, of capacity, of expertise. And this has to do with the history. I mean, with the control of the state over local governments. And very interestingly, these local associations, when you look at their leaders, are not national political leaders, even for the big cities. So you understand that they cannot, I mean, be influential in drafting, for instance, laws regarding urban issues. You don't have either. I mean, you could have other sorts of urban, I would say, influence. But if you look at the national parliament, for instance, you don't have any urban group, as you have in Spain, for instance, or as you have in the US, or you don't have, or as you have, for instance, in England with the core cities group. It's very well known that national governments are not really sensitive to urban issues, either from the left or from the right, except in specific historical situations, which happened about 10 years ago at the turn of the century. So I would say they have not been very influential. So I will stop this because it's been a bit too long, but thank you very much.